You know what really helped me go from making $1,200 per launch in 2020 to making over $800,000 per launch in 2023? Guys, I'll give you a hint. It wasn't a secret formula. It wasn't a magical hack or strategy. And it definitely wasn't a grind till you die mentality. You guys, it was getting in the right room in front of the right people. And that right circle of influence raises the bar, helping us set new, higher expectations for ourselves and elevate our standards for the life we live and the business we operate. Because the truth is that we don't know what we're truly capable of until we get into the room with the people who are going bigger than us, scaling higher, and showing us what is possible. When you join us in Austin at Burnout to All Out Live this October, you will be stepping into the room. This 2 to 3 day experience, depending on if you go VIP, is the most results-oriented event for business owners and entrepreneurs. It's unlike any other event you've attended. If you're looking for dynamic growth opportunities, cutting edge ideas, a supportive community, and energizing inspiration to help you elevate your business and upgrade your life, you'll find it at Burnout to All Out Live. But I have to warn you, last year the seats sold out weeks in advance. As a matter of fact, our gold VIP tickets, and I'm recording this ad in January, are totally sold out already. They've been snatched up. We do have some silver VIP tickets for that extra third day, and there's a good chance we're going to totally sell out this event again. So if you want in, I encourage you to grab your ticket now before the prices go up and the silver VIP tickets are completely gone. Check out the show notes from this podcast episode for the link to grab your ticket to secure your spot at Burnout to All Out Live 2024, where we will be elevating you. Or if you have a web browser handy, open up a new tab and go to www.burnout2allout.co/live-events. Can't wait to see you there. Hey. I hope you guys enjoy these, what I'm calling podcast shorts for my Burnout to All Out community. This is just a little peek behind the curtain of the coaching that goes on inside of my programs. We're bringing to you some of the best nuggets and coaching I'm giving within hot seats of all of our different programs, whether it's our LinkedIn Method Academy, our mini mastermind business basics, all the way up to our higher level mastermind. If you're hearing some of these questions and you're like, man, I wish I could get my burning question answered by Melissa. Hey, guess what? You could be featured on my podcast. If you've got a question that you want answered and you submit it to my team and we pick it, we will bring you here to the podcast for our podcast shorts and do a hot seat with you. Where can you submit your questions? Send them to teamburnout2allout.co. We'll make sure we drop that in the show notes for our podcast shorts. And I hope that you guys find as much value in these shorts as our clients do inside the program. Need some effective tactical advice that actually helps you get results and makes a real difference in your life and business? You've come to the right place. If you're finding yourself here today, it means you're getting ready to gain serious traction in your business, rapidly multiply your income and impact, and you're ready to make it happen while living all out. Guys, I'm Melissa Hinault, your trustworthy corporate dropout turned six-figure business burnout turned happy and healthy CEO of a multi-million-dollar online business. And you're listening to the Burnout to All Out podcast. On this show, we're serving up innovative growth strategies, simple implementation methods to put them into practice, and action-stimulating inspiration tailored specifically for the modern entrepreneur. Let's dive in. So with that, let's go ahead and start with Tina.
Hello, everybody. So last time I can't remember if it was a coaching call or you were filling in before you went to Bali or after you went to Bali, Melissa, but I had said how I had one person reach out via LinkedIn. I didn't think it was going to be a connection. I mean, it was a connection. It wasn't someone who wanted to purchase my services, but I still thought it was a win. And since then, I've had another person reach out as well, just interested in the space. And so I consider that a great win.
Yeah, so something good going on with your content.
I don't know. Hopefully, I guess at least the word interprofessional is triggering something in their minds. I think it's just a different term. So I have a question. So I still have my job in higher education. And generally speaking, in higher education, you're asked to speak and you pay to speak, basically, right? So if you submit an abstract, they accept your abstract at a conference, you don't get paid, you have to pay your way to get there. So it's opposite of, I guess, of industries outside of academia. So, but I did have the hospital in the area ask me to come and speak to their leaders for an hour about teamwork and interprofessional work. And so I am going to do that off of my academic time. So I'm not going to get paid for it. I'm going to do it for free because I think it's a good way to offer free. My question, though, for coaching is, so I'm not representing the university. I'm representing myself. I'll have my brand Collaborate for Health on the slides. And I'm just not sure what to do at the end because it's the hospital that's asking me to come and talk for an hour. Do I say, if you want to stay in touch with me, join me on LinkedIn? What should I do? And what should I say?
Yeah. So tell me how many people are going to be in the audience? Who's going to be there?
There's going to be about 40. So anyone that's labeled a manager or a supervisor in this particular hospital and the C-suite, and I wouldn't say all of the C-suite leaders are going to be there, but she said about 6 or 7 will be there.
Okay. And when is it?
Middle of September. So coming up this month.
Okay. So it may or may not be enough time. Do you know what an opt-in is?
Is that for an email?
Yeah. And you may not have time to create one right this minute, but I do think it'll be something good for you to have in your back pocket. I'm looking at the calendar, like next week is mid-September, right? So there's a couple of options, maybe not for this particular presentation, but in the future, I think having an opt-in would be really great. Something that you can offer at the end of your presentation that's of value. So for instance, if I'm a guest speaker on LinkedIn, like my last slide is like, what my LinkedIn checklist on how to optimize on LinkedIn, scan this QR code and get it, right? And obviously it's something that they would find value in, and I grab their email. So it's not something I would kill myself trying to like create between now and then if you're given the short turnaround. But I do think I would consider starting to work on something like that long term, right? Between now and then, what you could do is obviously, yes, you could. What's your call to action at the end? Like, tell me a little bit about what you're going to be presenting and what's your call to action.
So I'm going to be using 3 pieces of the literature. So my title is, are we teaming too much? Because many times people gather together teams and you're on multiple teams. But multiple teams that's where people get exhausted and there's burnout. And there's already burnout in healthcare. So I'm going to go back and provide 3 basic areas of science in terms of teaming. So Dunbar's number, like how big your team should be. And then also about just so 3 scientific areas. So my call to action, I'll have them work in groups at the very end and analyzing their team. So how many team members are the same on each team? So just kind of understanding when they organize teams within their departments or spaces, are they utilizing one person too often? Are those people getting exhausted, but you don't realize you're doing it? You're just trying to place a good person, right, on a team to get the work done. But as a leader, you need to be cognizant of that. And then does everyone that you're creating a team out of, do they actually have a specific role, or are they just an observer? So determining that. So my call to action is 3 science pieces or 3 pieces of teaming that's embedded in the science, having them reflect upon their own teams based upon those 3 pieces of science, and then thinking about how might they change if they need to change, right? They might say, oh, everything's perfect. I've done everything right. And that's okay. But for those who need to change, then what are your next steps in making a change so that your teams don't get exhausted and burned out?
Okay. Have you, like, for kind of the key decision maker that you landed this presentation with, has there been any discussion around kind of rules of engagement of you being able to even just pitch at the end if any of you guys want to work with me in small group? Like,
yeah, no, I didn't. So it's their chief human resources officer. And I just told her that I wouldn't be doing it from the academic perspective. I'll be doing it from Collaborate from Health for my own business. So we've only talked about seating arrangements
Okay.
and
Yeah.
handout.
So the thing to think about is, I would think about, is that point of contact your key decision maker that based off that one workshop would be the key decision maker to want to do additional work with you? And if that's the case, then you just need to think about your follow-up and call to action with them before you walk away from that day. If you could also, I don't know the infrastructure of the healthcare system and the managers and supervisors, if they have any autonomy and operating budgets where they could work in smaller groups with you, then it may even make sense at the end to just make sure you're leaving some information behind on that last slide, how you work in small group, you work in larger organizations. And here's your contact information if people want to book a consult call with you to discover how you could maximize even further, right? But I would definitely, I think that's the number one mistake a lot of people make, is they get excited that they had a chance to present and they totally forget about kind of that call to action at the end. You may even want to think about, is there something you could incentivize this key decision maker with before you leave that day? Is, hey, I've got a couple of slots open before the end of the calendar year to look at booking clients for next year, and offer them some kind of sweet offer with kind of a time-sensitive decision on it. So I think those are safe bets. And also obviously having your LinkedIn handle at the end. Even you can convert your LinkedIn handle to a QR code. I don't exactly know how to do that, but Jackie does. And she may even have a little module on it. That's a great one too. So people can just kind of scan it at the end. And don't be afraid to have things to pass out, like with your information to all the supervisors, right? To follow up with you. So those are some short-term things you can do, like literally this coming during the presentation. I think that long-term, what will be really cool, and I know this is a little bit more of like a business basics kind of discussion, but what will be cool is for you to build some type of assessment that's like a free assessment that you create that's like called something along the lines of even, are you teaming too much? Take this assessment to find out, right? And then the results kind of triage what the email follow-up would be based off the result, right? And if they're over teaming, right? Like it might be a consult call with you. If they're under teaming, it might be a consult call with you. So like that would be really cool long-term, like bigger picture with your business, I would think.
Those are all great. Thank you so much. I just didn't know where to go, but I have lots of options now. I appreciate it.
Maybe too many, right? Thanks, guys, so much for listening in on today's podcast episode. And I can't wait for you to see my upcoming guest in the next episode. You are going to love this keynote speaker. Hey, here's the deal. If you liked this, please subscribe and leave a review. And you want the latest online business growth strategies and exclusive LinkedIn pro tips sent straight to your phone? Text the word update to 704-318-2285. That is, text the word update to 704-318-2285. Can't wait to see you guys. Come find me over on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, wherever you like to hang. Cannot wait to hear how you are enjoying and applying what you're learning. You guys reach out to me over on social because I love hearing what's resonating with you. When you reach out to me and you send me those personal DMs, they really do impact the content I continue to bring forward to you. So again, come find me, Melissa_Hinault over on Instagram, Melissa Hinault over on LinkedIn and Facebook. Can't wait to see you guys over there.